to take a look at in this lesson is how to take and use our basic rolling as first level escapes from our inside-outside wrist reversal kind of things that we're learning in Mod 2. Okay, so when we're doing these things, what I want to take a look at is just proper body positioning so that you can enter the roll without getting broken, but at the same time using the force of the reversal to take you in the direction that you want to go. So this isn't about just being able to roll. Okay, you have time to do that when you're just rolling and doing your rolling training. What this is about now is adding the dynamic where your partner chooses the direction, the intensity, the force, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you're going to let them lead, much like dancing. Okay, we let our partner lead until it's time for them to fall down. Okay, so if you aren't familiar with these inside-outside wrist reversals, you need to refer back to the curriculum in Mod 2, omote gyaku, ura gyaku, that kind of thing. Okay, so and also with the basic rolling, we're going to be doing basic forward shoulder rolling, basic back or rear hip rolling. That's where we're going to be hanging out. So again, if you're not familiar with those basic skills, you probably shouldn't be messing around with this drill just yet. Okay, so I'm going to bring one of my instructors in here, Mr. Beck, right? And I'm doing this because he knows how to apply these things really well. So we're going to start by just dropping into a basic roll over where you end up on your back, but you've neutralized the reversal. So we're going to start kind of backwards. We're going to start with an ura gyaku, okay? And I'm just going to have him reach out here and grab it, and since the camera's over there, we're going to have you do it, let's just change position. Okay. So you can reach out and catch this thing. Everybody should be familiar with it. And I chose him because he puts the locks on really well. So as this thing is coming around, my body is being locked here, here, and here. So if he has correct control of this, he should have control of my shoulders, my spine, and therefore my feet. Okay? So I should only be capable of a little bit of movement. So as this thing happens, one of the first things I want to do is shift with it with the opposite leg. Okay? A lot of people I see when this lock isn't applied very well, slowly please, will step in with the same side, which drives you away. Okay? We'll take a look at that in a minute, but for right now, as this thing is turned over, we're stepping with it because we're going to be doing a forward shoulder roll on the opposite side. Okay? So I'm going to have him continue just slowly to take this around so that we can see how this is what frees the hand. It's the rollover that unwinds everything. Okay? It's the resistance. He's looking for the resistance that causes this to work. So what I want to do is go with what he's doing to take me out of this. Okay? So first level escape, just this basic rollover. Okay? So we're going to let the students practice that for a little bit. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, everything in your training is transitional. Okay? We want to make sure that we're learning foundational. Okay, as far as ukemi goes, foundational, just being able to move to start to neutralize things. We're going to do this rollover, and then we're going to take it from there. So again, back. Okay, so first level training is as he does this, I want to be able to step in the same direction. Okay, so we're going to back this up just a little bit. I'm going to have him change directions or take this where he wants to take it just into that first step. So I'm going to practice this kata or waza called shizen. All right, just being able to go where he's going. Okay, so I'm moving so I at least stay here. Okay, let's change that. Okay, for those of you who are working on a 3rd degree black belt, okay, this is a good beginning to escape because there's nothing that says that you have to roll. Today we're working on rolling, but I want to be in a position, please, where let's rotate. Where if I can, I want to get my hand on his chest, on his hachi. Okay, so I can start to affect balance. All right, that. Pressing on him doesn't do anything to my wrist, right? So again, different direction. Okay, this is about mirroring. It's not about guessing. Okay? I let him have control of everything. So as he applies his pressure, I go where he leads me. It's not time for me to do anything proactive yet. It's time for me to not get broken. Okay? So let's go into this rollover that we just did, except that I'm going to have Mr. Beck add a little bit extra to it. So as I'm dropping into my rollover, he's not going to let that deter him, and he's going to keep on going along his line of attack. So the idea is to be able to go through it and come up in kamae facing the attacker. Okay? Not just to drop and roll over to neutralize things, because if I'd have stopped, he's continuing to take my hand. So we're going to slow that down again so that you can see the mechanics of it. And as soon as you start slowing down, everything dies off, but you get the idea, right? So I'm still doing a forward shoulder roll, but my hand's out here now, and I'm going down. Okay? There is a time when you'll roll off this shoulder, the captured side shoulder, but in that one, it's where instead of taking the arm out this way, right, the attacker brings it down with it. Right? If you try to roll off the opposite side, you hurt yourself. Okay? So unless he's taking your hand down to the ground, we roll on the opposite side. Okay? So one more time. Again, he's about mid-speed, not so fast as the first one, so everybody can get an idea of where we're going. Right? So dropping into it, coming up in kamae, facing the bad guy so that we're shielded and ready to go. Okay, so let's change this over and take a look at omote gyaku, this outside wrist reversal. We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to have Mr. Beck come in here, and we're just going to do the stepping to neutralize first. So as he takes it out here, I want to step with the opposite leg, do this yokuruki kind of thing to cross step, because he may take me that way, he may take me that way, he may take me that way, he may circle around that way. Right? If he does that, that's a little different. We're going to stay within this realm over to this side. Right? So I'm going to go with this, but I'm not guessing. I'm letting him. So as he takes control of my spine and pulls me off balance, my first step is using taijutsu to neutralize this. So the other leg shouldn't have any weight on it. It should be very hicho-like. Okay? Yes? Okay, so let's take a look at that first with just this. Okay? And again, you can play around with different angles. He can move to wherever he wants to go, and I want to move in that direction. Okay? And if you're actually waiting until the lock is occurring, now he has a reason to go. Okay? In a full speed fight, he's not going to have a choice. He's going to be going, and his body's going to be stepping. So you have to simulate this. What if I don't step? Well, I'm going to break fall a different way. All right? So I'm going to do this to him this time. Okay? Again, he's not just stepping just because I'm turning the hand. He's waiting until the shoulder gets moved beyond the hips, and then he's going to neutralize that. And then we're going to be rolling from here. But we have to understand that this is not gymnastics. I don't determine distance, direction, speed, intensity, positioning, anything like that once I get past the basic building blocks of just learning how to get my butt over my head. After that, he determines all of that. That's the difference between what we're doing in gymnastics. Okay? He gets to determine. Okay, so one more time. Okay. So I want to make sure I'm going in that direction. And get feedback from your training partners as well. Okay? They'll know whether you're jumping the gun. They'll know whether you're late, and, well, you'll know if you're stumbling too. Right? They'll know if you're guessing. Okay? This is about being a shadow. Okay, so let's add the next part. Okay, so now we have this neutralizing part just like we had before. Step one, being able to go in the direction that your partner's taking you, wherever that happens to be, because you're back, you're falling off balance that way, your shoulders are breaking from your hips in whatever direction that is. We just talked about this in class a minute ago. If he takes me laterally, we can understand that. Okay? If he takes me even that way, we can understand that. Right? It's when he turns around that we might not get it, and this will show the quality of your partner's omote gyaku. Because if he just twists my hand in place and he keeps my hand out in front of my shoulders and he turns around, he's going to pull this monkey on his back and he's going to have a problem, right? So he wants to make sure that he gets this alignment. He can either walk it there, or by using his taijutsu, he can back up and pull it in alignment. Not really pull, his body will do it. And it comes around this way. Either way, the weight goes, you're going to have this kind of thing. You might be able to step this way. Either way, but for right now we're going to take a look at this basic model. Okay? Because that's how we start everybody with their basic backward rolls from a standing position. Step, sit, roll. Okay? So now, just the basic, it's not going to be a roll over, it's just a sitting, break, fall kind of idea. And we're going to borrow our yoko nagare, or just our basic sitting down, kind of almost a roll break fall kind of thing. So as he goes, sitting, turning your back into a rocking chair row. Again, it releases the lock, okay? Because I go with it. So as we do this, freeze, okay? In a second, I'm going to have him go just a little bit farther, but all my weight's on my back leg, so I'm in a hicho position, okay? As he goes a little farther and it breaks my balance, I'm just going to let this base leg, or the counterbalancing leg, extend and flex the base leg to bring myself down onto my back. I want to make sure that I exhale as I do that. So all in one move, shift, and down. Okay? And obviously I don't want to stay here, but this is the next phase. I want to make sure that I'm not crashing and burning or hurting myself when I go down. Yeah? Okay. Quick look at this, and then we're going to end. Okay, let's finish this up. Now we're going to take a look at that rollover. Okay? Again, principles are all the same. Nothing changes. Uda gyaku, omote gyaku. The form looks different, but the principles are exactly the same. Okay? So as long as we're going in the same direction and we're allowing him to lead, everything stays the same. Okay? Everything stays the same. I'll step on your foot instead. So, shifting, going with it. Again, he's following me, so this is okay. But the more energy he puts into it, the more energy he puts into my roll, because I'm really allowing this to turn me over. So the more he turns this over, the more the rest of me gets turned over. It's not like he's twisting my wrist and I'm trying to do a roll. Okay, this is called tsutemi. He's doing this thing, I'm sacrificing and letting him roll me over. And we're back up into kamae, facing the attacker. Okay? Because that's what happens. Okay? Yes? Excellent. Have at it. Good training.